Hello there everyone, it is TIJ Game. Welcome back to the FM22 beta. It's time for part 4 today of the Burnley save. Of course it is still Season 1 and today we host Wolves in the Premier League and then in a couple of days time we go away to the Amex Stadium. I forgot what it was called for a second then. To face Brighton. Not doing anywhere near as well as they are in real life. But I think the big thing to take out of today is that if we win either of these games, we get to 20 points. That, of course, is midway towards the magical 40-point mark. If we can get midway there, at this point, I think that's a very good achievement. And we have started well. You can see we're in 8th place in the Premier League. Some sides have already played their 13th match. Now, we've only played 2 since you guys have last been with me, and it's been good. I'm really happy with it. So we beat Villa at home. Again, only 1-0. It was a tight match. It was a late goal from Chris Wood that finished it off. I thought I had changed this, to be honest, to reflect the goal scorers. That's a little bit better. But, yeah, Chris Wood scored for us last-minute goal. But, you know, it was a close encounter. We had most of the possession, which is good to see. So, probably in the end, looking at the XG, etc., we probably deserved the result. So, that was a good result. Another 3 points to our name. And then we went away to Brentford. Everybody knows in the Premier League this year that Brentford are a tough side to take on. So I think I'll take a draw quite happily away from home. Brentford were the better side. Again, the home advantage. I think we did have more possession. Committed a lot of fouls. But Ashley Barnes, pretty much 2 minutes after he came on, got an equaliser after Christian. Is it Christoph? I don't know. Ah, yeah, got a goal anyway before half-time. But yeah, 1 each. So 4 points out of that. 7 points from the last 3 games. And as I said in the last episode, it is annoying me that we haven't got the green blob. I'll have to sort out this fixture view properly. But you can see in the last 3 games we're unbeaten. You know, we lost the 3 games before that. Not much of a surprise. Maybe wants to get something out of Leeds. But given it was away from home, not a disaster. And Leeds have had a very good start to this Premier League season. But as I said before, really, these 4 games, Villa, Brentford, Wolves and Brighton, are going to be important. We then head into 3 more games that we're probably not going to get anything out of. Obviously, we'll try, but I doubt it. You know, a little bit like Man City and Everton, those 2 points have definitely counted for something. And then, again, we had the period, you know, these 6 games here, all of which possibly can be winnable and certainly get some points out of. So we face Wolves today. Wolves haven't had a bad start to the Premier League year. Their position of 11th is tainted a little bit, to be honest. They had a really, really bad start, if you look. They got demolished in their first couple of matches, to be brutally honest. If we just take all of the cups, etc., out, just to focus on the Premier League. They lost all the first 3 matches. I think for a Wolves side, they'd have expected to get at least 1 win out of those first 3. Conceded 2 against Leeds, 3 against Villa, and 4 against Brentford. They went and beat Palace, but then everybody has, and then lost 4 more games. But they have won their last 4. They're on a good run of form. And as you can see, they also score goals. Particularly in the last 2 matches, they've scored 7. But equally, we defend well. So it's a challenge today. I can't see us scoring many. But let's see. I don't know. Let's have a look at the tactic, though, for today's match against Wolves. So Nick Pope starts in the net. We've got Connor Roberts, Phillips, me and Taylor at the back. Of course, James Tarkowski is out till at least Christmas with that broken ankle. That doesn't help, but it doesn't seem to have hurt our defence too much. Josh Brownhill is back. I think came back in the last match from a layoff, so good to have him back. Jack Cork starts with Westwood and McNeil on the left wing. And then Chris Wood and Matic Vidra starts up front. Vidra's very much become our first choice alongside Chris Wood at the moment. Balogun and Barnes certainly in the background. And I was watching Match of the Day this morning. It's been answered. It is Maxwell Cornet, of course. He got both goals in the match against Southampton in real life yesterday. So it is Maxwell Cornet, not Cornet. I did think it was Cornet first off, but we just changed it to Cornet. Why not? But, you know, the one thing that goes for us today, we are at home against Wolves. Wolves, you know, they've got Wang Hee-chan up front, who's a player I'm impressed with, I have to say, in real life so far. Raul Jimenez, of course. Pedro Neto's in. Maybe back from injury in real life at this point, at the 27th of November, not sure. But they've got a strong squad, have Wolves, and we're going to struggle to keep them out. So I'm going to pump this, get out there and impress me. It's not a match that I think we're going to do particularly well in, but equally, you know, you just never know. We've surprised ourselves in a couple of matches, I think. The match against Villa, I wouldn't have expected to have won that one either, but we did. But, you know, new day. I've just loaded the game back up, all of those permutations and all that crap. But, you know, we have started well. We've done a lot better than I thought we would have done, to be honest, with Burnley. But good ball from Westwood to Dwight McNeil. And as we always seem to do we get off to a very good start. Just muting my iPad and trying to not make it obvious at all. But Dwight McNeil gets his first goal of the season, very much in terms of the statistics, Burnley's main player. I know certainly last year's FM he was a real superstar. So we're lucky to have him. But a cracking ball from Westwood to McNeil. Brilliantly timed run. Catches Nelson Semedo. I think that is napping. It certainly does. And beats Jose Sarr in the Wolves goal. So an early goal for us. Again, that helps. I was about to say probably won't because they're going to make it one each at this point. But again, early goals. It just makes us a bit freer, I think. It cools us down. Obviously gives the opposition a bit of pressure, which is the main thing. But I think even though we've scored that early goal, I feel like Wolves are going to come back into this pretty quickly. It might even be with this highlight. Good defence, though, so far. Again, we are tough to break down. Raul Jimenez, Moutinho, Wang Hee-chan. I knew I shouldn't have mentioned his name. He's just scored his third goal of the season. Again, that permutation of mentioning a player's name before the start of the match. In that theory, Josh Brownhill should score. But yeah, this is good play from Wolves. The data hub's quite an interesting one. It's a new feature and one I've looked at a little bit and really sums things up, I think, that we are very good at the back. We're very tough to break down, even though clearly not there. But, very, very tough to break down. But we're not great up front. And ultimately, I think with the quality of player we've got, that's something we have to settle for at the moment. It certainly worked. Lovely ball from Vidra to Dwight McNeil, who nearly gets a quick-fire second. This match, for one that I thought could be quite tight because of the contrasting styles and might have been all backs to the wall for us. It hasn't been so far. It's been quite an open game. We've had by far the least possession, but again, it's still quite early days in this match, so it's tough to know. As you can see, we've come back into the game a little bit more now with 44% of possession. But I still do have this worry. I think Wolves are a lot more challenging than their position the table suggests, as you saw from their recent form. They've won the last 4, and you don't win your last 4 against anybody for nothing, but an absolute howitzer from Wolves, from João Moutinho there, and equally a lovely save from Nick Pope. And Pope's our highest average rated player so far this year. The defence playing well, and particularly Nick Pope, of course, a massive part of that, particularly now that James Tarkowski is out injured. Very much feels like Wolves are on top though here, really does. But we are staying in the match. Our XG is not too bad. We're okay. If we can get a point out of this, even though we are going to be under pressure for the majority of the match, I think I'll take it. But that's not the best clearance in the world from Nick Pope, giving it straight back to Max Kilman in the Wolves' defence. João Moutinho, lovely header from Dwight McNeil. Is this start of a counter-attack? We're not going to have many chances today, I feel. So we need to try and take them. But again, a bit more patient in our approach. Maybe wants to be a bit more direct, but it's okay. Lovely ball from Jack Cork to Dwight McNeil, who really seems to be the main man today. Puts it into the box. So Brownhill, just over the bar. Wolves and us have really had their chances. It could conceivably be 3 each at this point. It's been a cracking first half so far. Nat Phillips, Westwood, back to Jack Cork. Cork hoofs it through to Chris Wood. What can he do with the ball? Chris Wood out wide, puts it back into McNeil. Dwight McNeil scores the second. Dwight McNeil has been the man of the match so far. He's been here, there and everywhere. Every attack we've had, Dwight McNeil's been the man. And I have to say, so far this year, Dwight McNeil's been okay, but he's not been anything spectacular. Is today the day where he sets his stall as the team leader? 2 goals for Dwight McNeil. I've just said we don't score many, but we've already scored 2. And I'm really happy with that. An excellent first half. We've not had the most of the ball. And we've been under a lot of pressure, I think, from Wolves. And to come out of it 2-1 up is brilliant. So, I'm gonna ring the complacency bell. Dwight McNeil might not like that, but the rest of the players do. And I'm saying to myself, it's great to be in this position. And we've clearly took our chances. But it is important just to think that Wolves are still a threat. Again, you don't win your last 4 games for nothing. I'm regurgitating the same points we're aware. But Westwood through to Chris Wood, who chips the keeper. What do we have to do to score? Again, I tell you what, we have been clinical without being clinical. If the posts and the bar weren't there, we'd have been incredibly clinical. McNeil into the area. Josh Brownhill, again, against the woodwork. We've had 8 shots. Surely 5 or 6 of those should have gone in. Wow. Josh Brownhill's looking tired though now. As I said, he's just come back from an injury layoff. So we'll bring Jay Rodriguez on for him. We'll play Dwight McNeil now on the right wing because Jay Rodriguez is better on the left. So just considering all that. But this has been really good from us. Again, look at just analysing what I've just said. We could have done a lot more. Let's see. Pedro Neto into the area. Jack Cork gets it out for now. It's a decent clearance, but back to the corner taker all the same. Max Kilman across the park to Mosquera. I don't think I've ever heard of him. Mosquera back to Neves. Neves back to Mosquera. Phillips gets it out. Wanky Chan nearly with his second, but good defending from Nat Phillips. Always a player who's been good in the air. Ryan Ait-Nouri. Back to Leander Dendoncker. Max Kilman. Ryan Ait-Nouri. Dendoncker shoots. Good save from Nick Pope. Good save. We are under a lot of pressure now. Can we take advantage? Is Pope going to give this away or hoof the ball out beautifully? He does. McNeil, can he get his hat-trick? McNeil out wide. What can he do with this? McNeil into the area. Rodriguez backing. Craig I said Craig Westwood. I don't know why, but it's Matej Vidra from Ashley Westwood assist. We are 3-1 up, and we have been absolutely fantastic today against Wolves. I sounded very pessimistic before the match. That's really how I felt. But the lads, once again, have proven themselves. A brilliant ball to get it back into the box straight away from Rodriguez, even though the original cross from Dwight McNeil was far too long, really. But really good from Rodriguez. A good assist from Westwood, and Matej Vidra gets his name on the score sheet. But we are going to bring Ashley Westwood off. We're going to bring Bellegarde on now. Again, I think we'll just play him as a standard midfielder, just as an automatic role, and he'll probably come back into the defence as time goes by. Our defenders are playing well. I don't really want to disrupt that, and I think with 15 minutes to go, we'll just keep it as it is. We've got 10 minutes left. We are going to go defensive. We're going to try and be a little bit more disciplined and just slow the pace down. That would be more of a risk, I think, if we were only 1 up, but I think being 2 up, it's a risk we can take. Dwight McNeil, he's had a brilliant game, so I feel like he deserves to be waved off and get all the plaudits for that. And we'll bring Maxwell Cornet on for him and just swap Rodriguez and Cornet about, even though Rodriguez isn't the biggest fan of the right wing. At least he is proficient there. But this has been an excellent all-round performance. Moves us into 6th. I know that other sides have got to play, but that is a brilliant performance. Absolutely chuffed with that at Turf Moor. And that ends Wolves' unbeaten run. That was a brilliant result. I feel like, we're playing well, as it says. But yeah, I agree. We've got to stay level-headed. We're not midway into the season yet. We are midway there in terms of staying up. That's the target, to fight bravely against relegation. We're 12 points clear of the drop at the moment, and that's a really good cushion to have, especially when we have the 3 matches coming up that we're not likely to get much out of. But equally, we're in good form. We haven't won 4 on the bounce, but we're 4 unbeaten. And we now head away to Brighton. Have we won a match away from home this year? We beat Watford. But apart from that, we have struggled a little bit more away from home. We've played well at home, but away from home we've struggled a little bit, even though we've got a draw against Everton. So can we keep the good form going, at least stay unbeaten, and potentially go and beat Brighton away from home? So I think 2 similar sides face one another today. Brighton, at least in real life, very good at the back. Don't score the most goals in the world. And I feel like that very much mirrors our style. But we've started better than Brighton. Brighton are 14th in the Premier League. I haven't actually had a look at this before. But they've had some really tough results. Conceded 5 against Man United, 5 against Leicester. They did get their first win since a win against Newcastle with an away win of 3-2 last time out. But it's not been the best run of form. I guess that most of their bad results again come against the top sides. They beat Wolves 3-0. So a bit of an indifferent start, I suppose, to the league for them. We haven't made any changes. Why would you, after the brilliant performance we made against Wolves? This is a midweek game. It's only 4 days after the last one. But equally, at the weekend we've got Man United. And, unless we play brilliantly, I can't see us getting much out of Man United. The real prognosis here is that this is the most important match. Get 3 points out of this one and nothing against Man United. So I'm quite happy if we rotate in this one and don't get anything out of this one, and we might not get anything out of the Man United game anyway. So, Brighton are a tough team. They've got 16 points so far, so it's very tight in that mid-table there. You can see that an extra point would put them up to 9th or 10th. There's only 1 point in between 5 or 6 clubs. So, very good start for us, and we've pulled away from that group so far. But we could very easily go back into it in those next 3 games. That's exactly why I thought I was going in then. That's exactly why the results we're getting at the moment are so pivotal. Yeah, you can see between Villa and I think Brighton at the bottom of that list, there's only a point. Josh Brownhill, though, into the area, puts it in, not quite. Phillips, though, straight back to Chris Wood. Chris Wood for the 2nd time, and once again, we take the lead. And I think that is so pivotal I think if we go behind, which we don't do very often, we would struggle a little bit because, of course, we like to keep men behind the ball. We're not so direct. Funnily enough, I think that came off Matic Vidra the first time. Might have just gone on target anyway, but Chris Wood scores, I think he's 7th for the campaign. And once again, puts us 1-0 up. Chris Wood, though, still back to Ben Mee. I just like the patience we play with. Doesn't seem to be too much, though. We've got some more confidence in being a bit more direct now. McNeil on the edge of the box, puts it in Chris Wood. Not quite. Back to Jack Cork, though. Good to see that we are following attacks up with attacks and putting the pressure on. Lovely ball from Connor Roberts to Chris Wood. That is an outstanding assist from the right back, Connor Roberts, not Chris Wood. But equally, a very outstanding header from Chris Wood. The camera couldn't even keep up, so let's try and kind of put this down into slow motion. So Connor Roberts from nowhere really just hoofs the ball in. Chris Wood being marked by Duffy, and Duffy is no match for Chris Wood. The keeper doesn't know where it's going, so just puts his arms in the air and hopes for the best. Quick fire double, and you know, I can't believe this. I really can't. I thought that, again, it might still be to come. I really thought we'd struggle with a club like Burnley. I thought we'd be down sort of 16th, 17th, 18th all season long, struggling to compete. But it just hasn't happened so far. We have played very, very well. And at the moment, we're moving to 6th, which is absolutely unbelievable. I know that the likes of Tottenham and Leicester, etc., haven't made the best start. But, you know, even so, it's brilliant. Yeah, what a 45 minutes that was. You've blown them away. You know, again, they've had more possession, but clearly possession doesn't count for anything at all. We are going to make an early change. We're going to bring Matic Vidra off for... give Balogun a run, because in fairness, he hasn't played a lot since he scored his first goal against, I think it was Chelsea. So I think it's good to give him a run out. A big match in the relegation stakes, though, between Palace and Newcastle. And Newcastle have just scored a penalty to make that one 2 each. So, but yeah, Palace... who did Palace beat? Palace beat somebody. Might have been somebody like Leicester. Or it might have been West Ham, actually. West Ham beat Brighton. That was the one. They beat these guys, didn't they? Yeah. And that really proved pivotal in moving them off the foot of the table. If they'd have only got 3 or 4 points at this point, they'd really risk moving away, especially with, Leicester are losing. I thought Leicester might be winning at the moment. But, we're 2-0 up. Brighton have offered things, clearly. Their XG is not too bad, but we've just played really well. Rodriguez will bring him on the right. We'll make it a double substitution, and we will bring off Chris... No, we won't bring Chris Wood off. Again, I think we'll just keep it as it is at the moment. If we can keep our best players on the pitch, it seems silly not to, really. 10 minutes to go. Once again, we'll shut up shop at the back. Try and keep a clean sheet. Don't concede any more than we need to. Keep a positive goal difference. That goal difference now sitting at 7, which again isn't too out of the way of the clubs like Chelsea. But this has been an excellent episode. No highlights of any real nature, to be honest, for Brighton. I mean, their XG has been very similar to us. Late on, we're going to bring Max Cornet on, even though 2 minutes isn't really going to mean anything. But 2 quick fire goals at the start. Brighton couldn't respond, and 6 points out of 6. I mean, from that period of games, we haven't really done any better than I could have imagined, to be brutally honest. Absolutely fantastic stuff. The only complaint is not beating Brentford, but again, I'll take that. From that run of 5 matches to come out of that with 13 out of 15 points is brilliant. And again, it just helps in this run of 3 matches now. It's going to be tough. We're going to come back, I think, maybe for even the Newcastle match. It's going to be somewhere around these 4 fixtures, because again, Newcastle in 18th, Leicester in 17th, West Ham 19th, and Palace 20th. Quite literally at the moment, the bottom 4 clubs are going to be tough to play against, because they need points at that point of the season. But it'd be interesting to see where they are. The likes of Leicester, for example, I wouldn't worry too much about them. They get a few victories, and all of a sudden they're up to 9th. So, but as you can see, Newcastle, West Ham, and Palace might just be in trouble. So we'll come back at some point during those fixtures. Again, as I've said, I'm not bothered really about showing the fixtures that we're not going to do too much. I don't really think anybody enjoys seeing us getting hammered 5 or 6-0, although it's not happened yet, but I think it is going to happen at some point during this season. But our good start continues, 23 points from 14, and we are now more than halfway towards staying in the league based on the magical 40-point mark, and we're not even in the mid-season yet. I think we have made a very good start and one very much to be proud of. And if you enjoyed that, please make sure to leave a like down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for more Football Manager 2022 content. And see you all tomorrow, though, with, of course, the next video, daily videos on the FM22 Beta at the moment. And I hope you are enjoying the series. I certainly are. Certainly are. Terrible. I certainly am. English never was my strongest suit. I asked, though, in the last episode, in the title, is this team good enough? So far, I'd say yeah. And I'll leave you on that. Goodbye for now.